Good afternoon. I'm Gary Metro, the editor of the Southern Illinoisan, and this is a meeting of the Southern Illinoisan Editorial Board. With us today, we have a candidate for Mayor of Carbondale. I'm going to turn to him. He's going to introduce himself, and then we'll go around the table and introduce all of the participants in this meeting.
I'm Sam Goldman, and I'm a candidate for Mayor of Carbondale.
Bob Williams, publisher of the Southern Illinoisan.
Mark Fitton, managing editor.
Rob Crow, local news editor.
Well, thanks a lot for being here today, Sam, and probably should call you Mr. Goldman, but
No, that's quite all right.
we've known each other a while. And the way we'll do this is you can give us your main campaign pitch on why you're seeking the office and why you think you'd be the best candidate, and we'll ask you questions and we'll have a conversation.
I have thought long and hard about why I want to be mayor, because as you know, I've come off of the pressure cooker of being chancellor for a while. And I've thought about it, and as I thought about it, I learned more about who I am at this late stage in my life. And that is that I enjoy a challenge. And I kind of fade away very quickly if I'm not having one. I see that even in the short couple of months when I retired, I kept looking for things, so that I enjoy the challenge, and clearly the city presents such a challenge. When I was chancellor at the university, we had some very difficult times, but I really loved every minute of it. I put long hours in there, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I was sad to go. You know, that arrangement that we had for why I would go, because the arrangement was made prior to my becoming chancellor. And I missed it. And so the opportunity to become mayor, to look at the challenges that are facing the city of Carbondale, and there are many, and they are very severe, kind of intrigued me. And as I thought more and more about it, the fire in the valley started to stoke, and here I am. There are several issues here facing this city. I think primary is that we need to grow this economy. Over the past few years, this economy has fallen. I see three ways to deal with our budgetary problems. One is to cut, and we're doing that, and I'm sure there are more yet to come. The problem is cutting. You need to know when to stop before you ruin what your community is all about. And you also need to know which are the right cuts to make, and that comes from years of background, moral upbringing, training, and so on. The second is through raising taxes. I am opposed to that, unless it's absolutely vital. You know, never say never, but unless it's absolutely vital. I think that the problem we're having is the feds raise taxes, the state raises taxes, then they get down, and finally municipalities pay the bill, and that's wrong. The third is to grow the economy. I cannot accept the first two. My primary interest is in growing this economy. And you grow the economy in a variety of ways, not only through seeking investments and whatever, but in enticing people to come in, business and so on. But you have to do it in a creative mode. It is becoming more and more difficult to compete in areas of retail and food and merchandising. Everybody's got that. So what is it that makes us unique? Well, Carbondale is very unique in this area in that we have a very heavy concentration of skilled technology people. We have a... Excuse me.
This must be some exciting video.
It's Hillary. She always calls me when I'm going to get stuff. Okay, well, that's okay. Well,
Attracting business.
Take two.
We have here an enormous array of talented people with respect to technology. The skills are here, the training is here, the know-how is here, and we do not capitalize enough on that. For example, we have an incubator, and it does very well. And the purpose of the incubator is to encourage entrepreneurs to grow and to develop. However, they stay there, which is not the reason for the incubator. They're supposed to be in there, learn how, get built, and then leave. We've got to get them out of there. we've got to get them into the city. And we've got to do this through enticement and providing proper space and so on. Well, there are more entrepreneurs in this area, there are more technology people in this area, and we've got to find them and encourage them. That's the uniqueness here. That's what I'm saying is the layer that sits above the restaurants and the retail stores, and there's nothing wrong with them. But there's nobody to compete with us in that area. I can't. So, as we work with this, the job is to find people, and this is where I came to the notion of setting up this innovation zone, this technology innovation zone, which would concentrate the people, and concentrate the area. And I located the spot that I would put it in is over at Southern Illinois Airport. First of all, it makes life easy because nobody will tell you not in my backyard. There is no backyard there, so it's there. But more than that, it concentrates transportation. It is located right next to the university's building of the transportation center, which will house the aviation and house automotive. The National Guard is there. It's a growing area. And that's where I would put my innovation zone. And I call it a zone because you link it to the possibility of the kinds of zoning that we can get funding for. And I would open up the road between the airport terminal and 51, create a major highway in there so that people can connect out. We must have it. And I am told time and time again, the reason that we have problems here in Carbondale is that we are not on Route 57. Okay, you know, how many times can you say tourism? Yes, I understand that. So let's find our own way. And I apologize for that. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave this out somewhere, John.
Put it on my desk, right?
All right. And so we will open up that road. And we will go with incentives to bring. Now, where are we going to get these people? I already have that also. We have an entrepreneurial young guy by the name of Anil Mehta who has established the Innovation Center, wherein he has these conferences and he brings in these big-time executives. And they come here. These are people from Cisco, from IBM, from AT&T, Rolls-Royce, and so on. They come here. Now, he does that so that students can interact with them and get jobs. They actually are here. I've met them. And they have indicated to him that they would have an interest in exploring the possibility of setting something up in this area. I've talked to Anil about it, and we have agreed that should I become mayor, we will bring people in one at a time. We're going to bring them here. First, we'll put the incentive package together. We'll get the state and others to create an incentive package. And then we'll bring them in one at a time. And we'll show them. We'll be out at the airport. See, most of these guys don't worry about a highway. They worry about an airport. And so we have that going for us. That's one of the things that I want to do, to grow the economy. There are several others, but that's the major thrust of it. We also have to grow our population. Growing the population is a little more difficult. You know, we have grown like 1.5% over the last decade. Marion has grown some 28%. Why is this happening? Well, there are a variety of reasons this is happening, in my judgment. And the most insidious reason is that we send people away from Carbondale. Many of our real estate people will take an incoming individual and will drive them out of Carbondale to Carterville, to other places, and say, gee, you really want to settle here? Well, we've got to stop that. The way to stop that is to improve the housing stock that we have, to make it more available, to create levels of cost of houses so that some people in those areas can afford it. And of course, to work with the real estate people, make sure that they don't do that, but they are doing it. I know because they did it to me. And I also know that we don't take anywhere near as much advantage as we do of the presence of Southern Illinois healthcare. We need to create Carbondale to be a medical health service destination. We can do it because, once again, we have the talent, we have the people here. Well, but these docs don't stay here. They go and live outside of Carbondale, and that's partially because the real estate agents just walk them out, and they stay there. So that also, and I am a volunteer, and I work to chair their foundation, and so I know a little bit about what they do, and they are hiring, by the way. Unlike most, SIH is hiring. And they're hiring docs who come in at very high rates. So that's where I would look also. I would look to SIH, and I would look to the innovation place, and then I would look at the university. I have lived for 30 years with the university, and I pretty well know where everything is. There are so many difficulties there, and part of it is historical and whatever. But one of the problems is housing, student housing. We've done well on Grand Avenue, but I have had where parents have come to me as chancellor and they said, we'd love to have our child come here to SIU, but they look down Poplar Street and they say, they're not going to live there. So we've got to renovate. We've got to make sure that landlords bring their places up to standard. That's going to be very difficult because they have resisted. Not only have they resisted, but we have not enforced. We have cut back on people who supervise that in the city, and we can't do that. So those are some of the areas that I would see to grow the economy. I really think we can. Let me go on with another, and that is the vision that I think is very important. What is the vision of Carbondale? If you read the comprehensive plan, it's just a very nice document, and it is comprehensive. It really is comprehensive. The difficulty with the comprehensive plan is that it's a strategic plan, not a tactical plan. There is nothing there that says, okay, here's how you do it. It's not there. And so we're going to have to spend some time going over that plan and worry about the how of it. And once you get into the how of it, it takes you back to my first point, which is, where is the money coming from? There's some great ideas in there with housing, Main Street, uptown, and downtown. Where are we going to go? We don't have the resources for it. And so we have to generate the resources in order to do that. But I think that we need to have other things about the vision that we have in Carbondale. We need to plan to improve our neighborhoods. I have done a lot of walking and handing out leaflets and so on. There are some lovely neighborhoods in Carbondale, but there are some on the other end as well. And we have to be able to improve them. We have to create living neighborhoods. I would relate that, for example, to the issue of crime and say we've got to work with neighborhoods to take care of that through neighborhood crime groups, to help them really control their own destiny within a neighborhood. So I think we need to work with the neighborhood. I have been hearing from the business people saying that we're not a friendly town to business. And every time I've said to them, tell me, what is it that makes us so unfriendly? And I've heard some. We have too many restrictions. Okay? When I become mayor, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the restrictions, and if they're too onerous, we'll get rid of them. We don't need them if they prevent something from happening. We ask too much. It takes too long. I've heard nightmare tales. Somebody wanted to build a major business building, and he went to Carbondale, and it took months. And so he went over to Marion, and they told him, by morning you'll have an answer. Well, I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong, but clearly Marion wins under those conditions. We can't allow that. We simply can't allow that. And that is not to say you yield on standards. It is to say that you can work better, you can work faster, you can be more efficient, and you can eliminate the roadblocks to all of that. We need to worry about our environment to protect